Jersey has long been recognised as one of the world's most stable and successful international finance centres. For more than 60 years, those working in the financial services industry have helped individuals and businesses, domestically and internationally, to grow and prosper. Our contribution to the global economy in both developed and developing countries is significant and growing. We make a positive difference to the world, and we want that to continue. That is why the Government of Jersey has reinvigorated our financial services policy framework. It sets out our vision for the industry and how we will achieve it together. It is a vision to create the environment required to enable the continued success of financial services in Jersey by facilitating our digital transformation, our continued compliance with global standards, and our transition into being a leading centre for sustainable finance. Building on the foundations of the past 6 decades, the government, regulator and industry will work in cooperation to achieve this vision. And we will do it by focusing on 10 strategic priorities within the framework. We're now going to look at those strategic priorities and what they mean in more detail. We will hear from colleagues and partners who have been involved in helping set them. The first 4 strategic priorities in the framework are to maintain and develop the 4 pillars of Jersey's financial services industry, to promote Jersey as a leading centre for sustainable finance, to harness the opportunities created by fintech and digitalisation, to maintain an attractive and agile operating environment.
Jersey's financial services industry is diverse, but is built around 4 key pillars: private wealth, banking, funds and corporate business. These pillars laid the foundation for Jersey's success over decades and for the significant growth of private wealth and private and institutional funds in more recent years. They also provide a perfect platform to accommodate the needs of a new generation looking for ESG compliant ways of investing capital. Jersey was the first international finance centre to develop comprehensive and robust legislation governing trusts. Jersey's trust law has been used as the template for trust law legislation by international finance centres around the world and is the law on which the Hague Convention on Trusts is based. It continues to be maintained and updated to reflect best modern practice and standards. Our trust legislation has been the perfect foundation for Jersey's growing wealth management industry and for Jersey becoming a jurisdiction of expertise for family offices and philanthropic giving. Our rapidly growing investment fund servicing and management sectors continues to go from strength to strength, with upwards of £436 billion of fund assets now serviced in the jurisdiction. That's an all-time high. It is fantastic to see the government setting out a vision to support and help future-proof our financial services industry by further enabling its digital transformation, its continued compliance with global standards, and its transition into becoming a leading international sustainable finance centre. Government has committed to enable our continued growth and success and work with industry to deliver a new targeted programme to attract new business for family wealth, banks, fund managers, investment managers, and to attract some of their principals. Jersey Finance's recent publication on global value chains emphasises the importance of us getting this right. We support £170 billion of global GDP, over 5 million jobs, and administer nearly £1.4 trillion of capital. Jersey Finance's business development work in the Middle East, Far East, Africa, USA and of course UK will further bolster these successes. Government has also listened to industry. They have spoken to many industry leaders and have heard our message clearly. Jersey has huge strengths and provides stability in an uncertain world. Our success to date is due in no small way to our forward-thinking approach, our focus on expertise, our sophisticated and comprehensive infrastructure, and our commitment to providing a reliable and stable environment. But we must continue our commitment to implement international standards. We must embrace the paradigm shift towards sustainable and green finance, and we must ensure the efficiency of doing business that has made Jersey successful. Government support is vital, which is why this policy framework document is so important.
I'm delighted that government has committed to embracing digitalisation in its strategy for the financial services sector. This fits seamlessly alongside Digital Jersey's mission to make us a leading hub where international digital businesses can develop, test and grow by fostering entrepreneurship, innovation and international connectivity. Whilst we've long spoken of using digital solutions to remain competitive and ensure that business can operate as efficiently as possible, it's great to see the government putting the development of initiatives such as data stewardship, digital ID and upskilling at the core of its thinking. This has been supported by government establishing a cyber emergency response team, which forms part of an international network which promotes and improves cyber resilience across the island's critical infrastructure, business communities and citizens to maintain and strengthen Jersey's international reputation as a safe place to do business. Digital Jersey will play its part in delivering this vision.
The next three strategic priorities in the framework are to maintain strong adherence to international standards, to review and refresh Jersey's strategy for combating financial crime, and to enhance Jersey's profile internationally with increased political and regulatory engagement.
Jersey has consistently been a fast adopter of best practice and swift to implement international standards and initiatives. This has helped Jersey stand out against its competitors and reinforced its reputation as a jurisdiction of quality and substance. And this is of course as important now as it's always been. Strong regulation and international compliance are critical to our competitive offer. Officers from government have leading roles across the international bodies that are at the core to our success, including the Financial Action Task Force and the Organisation for Economic Cooperation and Development. Through these roles, we actively engage with the international community in the design and delivery of new standards for the finance sector. This is supported by our diplomatic work across a breadth of jurisdictions, with a strong focus on Africa and the Middle East in recent years. In our mission to comply with these standards, we're supported by bodies such as the Jersey Financial Services Commission, but industry is absolutely at the forefront too. As changes come, we will always respond proactively in the interests of Jersey.
Jersey is a world-leading international finance centre, serving clients from around the world with a well-earned reputation for being a trusted and responsible global citizen. Across the island, in order to protect that well-earned reputation, we must make sure that ongoing understanding of financial crime risk and mitigation of that risk remains at the top of our agenda. In short, Jersey must remain fully committed to the global fight against financial crime at a time where the focus and attention on IFCs and financial crime compliance has never been higher. In order to continue to deliver on this commitment, Jersey will develop and publish a revised national strategy for combating financial crime in 2022. Under this strategy, the island will continue to develop a more detailed risk understanding of financial crime risk and will publish a clear risk appetite statement in order to provide clarity in identifying appropriate business for Jersey. Jersey's finance industry spans a broad range of services and jurisdictions. The nature and jurisdiction of the business presents differing levels of risk. Building upon risk understanding to develop a more detailed understanding of exactly where the highest money laundering and terrorist financing risks are must be a priority for any major IFC in 2022. Jersey published its first national risk assessments of money laundering and terrorist financing in 2020 and 2021. And through continued work with key stakeholders, the government intends to develop a more detailed risk understanding and will publish a refreshed national risk assessment in 2023. Jersey has historically set out the principles around our risk appetite through the Sound Business Practice Policy. This policy specifies activities that pose a potential reputational risk to the island and require those intending to form an entity in Jersey to disclose the details and type of activity it will undertake. However, we realise that this now needs to be further developed, and 2022 will bring the development and publication of a clear risk appetite statement in order to provide clarity in identifying appropriate business for Jersey. We're committed to doing this in consultation with industry and in line with international best practice. For a number of decades, Jersey has been committed to working with the Financial Action Task Force and more recently as members of Moneyval, and we've lent skilled personnel to both the development of the FATF's recommendations and to the conduct of the ongoing assessment process of other countries in the global network. In 2022 and 2023, Jersey will prioritise preparation for the island's next assessment by Moneyval, which will be adopted and published in the spring or summer of 2024. Historically, Jersey has achieved positive results in international assessments by Moneyval and previously by the IMF. The island is committed to looking to continue this trend of positive performance in international assessment. In approaching compliance with international standards, Jersey has many significant advantages that differentiate the island from its peers, ranging from a world-leading beneficial ownership register to strong TCSP regulatory frameworks. Jersey has dedicated financial crime policy and operational units across a number of agencies. Recently, the government has taken the decision to strengthen resources across all those agencies, coordinated by a central financial crime strategy directorate situated within the Department for the Economy. The government and key agencies will deliver an enhanced engagement programme with industry over 2022 and 2023 to further develop risk understanding, provide further clarity on the application of the regulatory regime, and to examine international trends and typologies. The government is committed to supporting this work through additional resourcing and equally identifying digital solutions to help Jersey meet its international financial crime obligations. We are committed to ensuring our financial crime policies remain both proportionate and effective.
The Jfc Strategic Anchors are to facilitate business integrity, harness technology and influence the digitalisation of financial services, and develop our people, our systems and our capabilities to be a high-performing organisation. All three of these are central to the Jersey-wide strategy being published today, with a focus on standards, smart working between industry and authorities, embracing digitalisation and developing skills. The JFSC will play its part in this and live our own strategic framework over the coming years, supporting the government in its vision.
The final three strategic priorities in the framework are to grow and develop Jersey's footprint in its priority financial services and product markets, to deliver strong and effective stakeholder cooperation, and to deepen and broaden the skills and expertise of Jersey's workforce.
Jersey has always been a jurisdiction that listens, and I'm pleased to see government reinforcing this commitment now in its strategy for the financial services sector. The ongoing collaboration and engagement between industry and the government has contributed to many of Jersey's successes. These include our market-leading fiduciary and corporate laws, both of which carefully balance the needs of our clients with adherence to international practices and standards. By recognising the importance of digitalisation and innovation to the finance sector, as well as our people and their skills, the needs of industry continue to be well understood and invested in. This is of crucial importance as the field we work in is increasingly complex, with intense competitive pressures as well as an ever-changing operating environment. These challenges do of course present an opportunity to ensure that we understand and continue to build upon what has underpinned Jersey's success in the past. For me, this is facilitating an agile business environment where we respect different roles and responsibilities but work together to succeed as an island. It is timely that government has put the ability to do business in an efficient way at the heart of this strategy and committed to embracing methods of achieving this whilst adhering to the high standards we rightly maintain. It will be for us as practitioners to hold government to this commitment and ensure that the needs of our sector are well understood by policymakers. I look forward to being part of this and doing my part to ensure that we continue to offer our international client base a world-leading service from Jersey for decades to come.
Jersey's government, industry and regulators share a common understanding of our strengths and vision. There are of course different areas of responsibility and interests, but we all recognise the importance of the industry to Jersey's future success, and we always resolve any challenges through strong and effective cooperation. We talk regularly, and because we are a small community, we have the agility to reach considered decisions and to enact those decisions quickly. This is a strength which will enable all parts of our industry to continue to adapt and grow to meet the demands of our global clients, to respond to new and exciting opportunities, and to enable Jersey to retain our leading position on the world stage as a first-class international finance centre. This is a policy framework which sets our vision for the future, supports an industry in which we can all have confidence and be proud, and keeps Jersey prosperous for all islanders.